World News brings you another in the series by Columbia News analysts. Tonight from London, Edward R. Murrow.
This is London, 5 o'clock in the morning.
The noise that you hear at the moment is the sound of the air raid siren. I'm standing here just on the steps of St. Martin's in the Fields. A searchlight just burst into action off in the distance. One single beam sweeping the sky above me now. People are walking around quite quietly. We're just at the entrance of an air raid shelter here, and I must move this cable over just a bit so people can walk in. I can see just straight away in front of me Lord Nelson on top of that big column. There's another searchlight just square behind Nelson's statue. Here comes one of those big red buses around the corner. Double-deckers they are, just a few lights on the top deck. In this blackness, it looks very much like a ship that's passing in the night, and you just see the portholes.
The most important decision in Edward R. Murrow's life was made in February 1937, when the young broadcaster, who was not yet 29, had been asked by the executive of CBS, Edward Klauber, to become the CBS European director. He said yes. Edward R. Murrow, the young, carefree, and light-hearted man, assembled a group of young reporters who soon became household names in wartime America, and packed up his things to move to London, England. The group came to be known collectively as Murrow's Boys, and reported the whole of World War II from the front lines with the courage and loyalty inspired by Murrow's own fearlessness. In London, Murrow quickly became a prime source of information for the British scene, as he took upon his shoulders the care of the world. Like the war itself, daily overseas radio news broadcasting was no longer concentrated in Europe. It had become global. Murrow once said, "Don't worry about me. This business is a strain on the nerves, but there will be little actual danger, probably no more than there used to be from widowmakers when I was in the woods." Murrow showed the Americans overseas that he was willing to broadcast the truth, no matter how hard it may be. The ever-present cigarette, matter-of-fact baritone voice were the trademarks of the radio reporter who became internationally famous during World War II with his broadcasts. The fruits of his determination are shared today by newsmen at all networks. Deeper into the 20th century, Americans increasingly consumed news, advertisements, and entertainment produced by a limited number of distant authors. Murrow conveyed truthful facts with a compelling precision by going beyond the reporting of the facts. By describing what he saw in visual detail, he sought to convey the moods and feelings of war.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Had a London street just been bombed out? The young correspondent was soon there in helmet, gray flannel trousers, and sport coat, quietly describing everything he saw against the urgent sound patterns of rescue operations. In the broadcasting age, listeners came to imagine they could enter the public world in a private way. Radio brought far-off voices and events into the home in an intimate fashion. To the members of that vast audience, radio became a central part of their daily lives. In the early years of radio, people around the globe were amazed at the fact that a truly amazing technology could give rise to a culture both mass-produced and designed for mass consumption. As Murrow most famously became known through his reports atop of the roofs of London during the London Blitz, he reported in his own words that the blackout stretches from Birmingham to Bethlehem, but tonight, over Britain, the skies are clear. Of the liberated prisoners at Buchenwald death camp, he said, "It sounded like the hand-clapping of babies. They were so weak." These memorable broadcasts, especially those in the Saturday evening series called London After Dark, signalized the fact that after all the unbelievable events on the European continent, after Hitler's blitzkrieg in the east and his quest in the west, after Dunkerque and the fall of France, Britain stood alone, face to face, one more with history.
I'm standing on a rooftop looking out over London. At the moment, everything is quiet. For reasons of national as well as personal security, I am unable to tell you the exact location from which I'm speaking. Off to my left, far away in the distance, I can see just that faint, red, angry snap of anti-aircraft bursts against the steel blue sky. But the guns are so far away that it's impossible to hear them from this location. About 5 minutes ago, the guns in the immediate vicinity were working. I can look across just at a building not far away and see something that looks like a splash of white paint down the side.
Murrow's career began at CBS in 1935 and spanned the infancy of news. A small plaque in the lobby of CBS headquarters in New York City contains the image of Murrow and the inscription, "He set standards of excellence that remain unsurpassed." During his 25-year career, he made more than 5,000 broadcasts and was the most well-known revolutionary of broadcasting, as he fearlessly put his life in danger by crossing over restricted lines into war zones, standing upon rooftops during air raids, and remaining on the front lines of World War II to provide unprecedented war information to the American people.
We proclaim ourselves, as indeed we are, the defenders of freedom wherever it continues to exist in the world. But we cannot defend freedom abroad by deserting it at home. Cassius was right. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. Good night, and good luck.